the who's who as far as coaches and 6U football all across Texas. But before we get started, introduce you to the coaches and get to the action that all you guys have been waiting for. We've got to introduce our illustrious hosts. We've got Pop Green and Big Q, along with another coach. I didn't get a chance to get his name and have him introduce himself as well. So let me just have our hosts introduce themselves. All right, looks like they're having a little bit of a sound issue down in Houston. We're going to need them to maybe move their device a little bit closer to them and turn the sound volume up on their device. But we're going to go ahead and get to the actual coaches of the game. So we're going to start off with the Dallas coaches. So, Dallas 6U coaches, introduce yourself to our audience.
All right, here's Coach D, Coach G from SED Wolverines, uh, repping the Dallas section of the DFW Dallas Bowl, the Baby Bowl Showcase.
All right, coach. And what team will you be coaching?
I'll be coaching the Team Rangers. Team Rangers.
All right, man. So you guys had quite the season this year. Tell us a little bit of about your season in flag this last year.
Man, we had a great season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we played some great competition. We uh end up making a rival, and then after going undefeated throughout our season, we played our conference championship, and we came out without the victory. But you know, this year we plan on coming back, trying to finish up the job, coming back stronger, adding way more pieces, and bringing back some of our star pieces from last season, just to dominate, 6U all over again.
And speaking of pieces, you guys have added some new exciting pieces to that roster. Well, let's move on to one of our other coaches. For our other Dallas coach, let's get your information as well, coach.
Who the other Dallas coach?
It's you, Kitty.
Man, I'm okay, my bad. I'm the great Coach Keedy, man. I rep for TNS Cougars, Team No South. Um, we had a good season this year. We came out the champs. You know what I'm saying? We came out champs this season. So I will be looking forward to defending my crown, trying to move up with my boys and having a great season this year.
All right, man. So something you both can speak on. Both of you guys were involved in Wednesday Night Lights. Both of you guys ended up in the semifinals of your league as the champions of your league. What kind of effect did having that extra play time have with your boys, and how did that affect your season?
Uh, well, it made a couple of my players like turn up for real. Like one kid, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he wasn't doing too good at first, but shoot, he went out there on one Wednesday and he scored like 5 or 6 touchdowns in one game. And his game had like turned on real quick. So he he excelled in a pretty good way.
Yeah, like all those rips, all those game time rips, where like even though that those kids is flag babies, right? Those kids is getting so many reps and so many games, so much experience, which really like for like both teams, both of our teams helped help both teams have some great seasons. Because by the time we played, you know, most teams we played 20 games, 30 games. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay,
like,
just having them reps under your belt.
right.
All right,
So
so
let
let
me
me
just
just
check
check
back
back
in with
in with
Coach
Coach
Pop and
Pop and
Coach
Coach
Q.
Q.
You guys
You
still
guys still
there?
there?
Right.
Coach
Coach
Pop,
Pop,
Coach
Coach
Q.
Q.
Well, it
Well,
looks
it
like
looks
we're
like we're
having
having
some
some
diff.
diff.
Coach
Coach
Pop, Coach
Pop,
Q.
Coach Q.
What's going on, Shannon? You here?
All right, I
All
can
right,
hear
I
you
can hear you
now.
now.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So,
man,
man,
I didn't
I
mean to
didn't mean to
jump the
jump the
gun
gun
and get
and
into
get
the
into the
coaches. But
coaches.
before
But
we
before we
bring
bring
on the
on the
Houston
Houston
coaches,
coaches,
I
I
wanted to
wanted to
let
let
you and
you
Q
and Q
just give
just
us a
give
little bit
us a
more
little bit more
information and
information and
what it took
what
to
it
put
took to
on an
put on
event
an
like
event
this,
like
and
this, and
how's it
how's
going
it
into the
going into
second
the
year of
second
this
year
great
of this
event.
great event. All right, looks like we're still having a little bit of a sound issue down in Houston. Pop, can you hear me? All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the Houston coaches. Do we have the Houston coaches online?
What did I see?
It's just
All
a
right,
Dallas,
let's.
baby. It's just a Dallas thing, a Dallas
I
Fort Worth
guess
thing.
it's.
It's a
Well, I guess
DFW thing, man.
it's
You know what
it's
I'm
looking
saying?
like
DFW,
Hey, man,
man.
y'all keep saying Dallas, but we from Fort Worth over here, man.
I'm from Fort Worth, man.
My
So
bad, my
you got to
Dallas,
give
Fort
Fort
Worth.
Worth.
Y'all need to start saying
You know what
Dallas,
I'm
Fort Worth.
saying? I'm
Dallas
not from
Fort
Dallas, so when you said Dallas coaches, I was looking at the camera like,
well.
where you at?
Worth.
Hello,
Dallas
I
Fort
don't
Worth.
know what's going on down in Houston, so we're gonna probably just hop into the Dallas portion of the draft. Are you ready,
All right.
Jazz?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it popping, man. You know,
All right, man. Well, hey, we're gonna have Cube and Pop on a little bit later as soon as we can handle those technical difficulties. But we know people have been waiting a long time. It's a school night. Hold on. We got Q back. Hey, Q, can you hear me? Pop, can you hear me? Cannot hear you guys. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the first pick. Let's go ahead and get right into it before people start dropping off the stream. So, producer, are you ready? All right, guys. So without further ado, just for time's sake, so we don't have these parents and kids waiting up too long. Hello, we got you, Pop? We're going to go into the first pick of the draft. So with the first pick of the... Can you hear? I don't know.
I'm the
All right.
first pick.
All right, so it's going to be the first pick. We're not starting with the first overall pick. We're going in reverse order. So this is going to be pick number 33. So with the first pick of the draft, pick number 33, it's going to be Kaysen Allen going to the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
God.
All right, so let's have the coach for the Blue Jays, man. Tell us a little bit more about this athlete.
Well, I just got this kid this year, so you know, I just wanted to see what he was going to be capable of doing. He's full of a lot of energy. He does pretty good at practice, so you know, I added him to the roster. He wanted to play, so I put him on there.
All right, man. Well, hey, we got him in the first pick. He'll be playing in the Baby Bowl this year. So with the second pick, number 32, we're going to have young Lincoln going to the Rangers.
Lincoln
Going to
ties.
the,
Yeah.
tell me more about Lincoln.
Yeah. He's a great kid. We had saw him at the tryout for the Baby Bowl. He was a kid that had a lot of energy, never stopped playing, never complained, whether like it was a bigger kid on him, whether like he was a smaller kid, like he was straight dominant. He's just a kid that's just ready to learn and play football.
Most definitely. You got to have athletes like that on every roster. So we're going to go to pick number 31. That one's going to be going to the Blue Jays. Landon Porter. Tell us about this young athlete.
Landon Porter, he's a great kid. I mean, he takes in a lot of knowledge. He loves the game of football. He works at it. He does his job. When I asked him whatever I asked him to do, he does his job. So I would like to welcome Landon to my team.
Well, congratulations, young Landon. Certainly as a dog player, we're happy to see him in this year's Baby Bowl. But we're going to move on to the next pick.
Shannon, can you hear me now? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Pop. Hey, we got Pop back. All right, we got the sound in. All right, it was the Bluetooth. That probably was the issue. So we got Pop Green. We're going to take a temporary pause on the picks. We're at pick number 30 when we come back. And I'm going to have Pop and Quentin tell us a little bit more about this Baby Bowl event and what all the work that went behind getting this thing going. So tell us a little bit more about this event, Pop.
Yeah, man. This is the second annual Baby Bowl. Man, we did it last year. We came back and said, hey, we're going to bring it together.
Whenever you're watching us on down.
It's a great event for the kids, man. We're giving a lot of stuff back to kids. This is not your normal all-star event where, you know, the people that do the all-star.
You have echo. You have to turn down. You have to turn down the speaker.
It's all about the kids with the Baby Bowl. So.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. So, man, let's talk about the theme of the jerseys. You guys put a lot of work into that. I see you got them on display behind you. Those are some nice-looking concepts. There are some teams I know that can steal these concepts for their fall season jerseys. So tell us what got behind this idea.
Concepts, man. I thank Impact Sports, man. If y'all need some jerseys out there, hey, hit up Impact Sports. We got Indians over here. We got Marlins. We got Mariners. We got Yankees. We got Dodgers. Rangers, Angels, A's, Blue Jays, Astros, Rangers, and Guardians. So now this year it was the MLB concept. Last year we had NBA with the throwbacks. So every year we have a little different concept.
We also got the team gloves this year to go with everybody's uniform.
Got the team gloves. You see the Rangers.
Oh, they can't see the table.
Got the Braves.
I can't see it on the table because the thing's too close.
All right. Well, we'll be posting pictures of the gloves and jerseys up close just so the parents can get a better look. And just to be honest, this is one of the better themed All-Star games that I've had the privilege of being a part of. So these gloves and these jerseys, man, that is a nice look. I'm pretty sure these kids are excited to get those on their hands.
Right there.
My son's going to need a pair of them LA Dodger gloves regardless. Let me know what the fee is. But anyways, man, let's get back to the action.
We are at pick number 30, and that's going to go over to the Rangers.
And with pick 30 of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft, it's going to be Jose Gonzalez going over to the Rangers.
Yeah. So
right.
With pick number 30, I picked my son. I told him that I wouldn't pick him last, but he damn sure wasn't going to be first. You know what I'm saying? So he's a good kid. He does everything that I ask of him. He's a great leader. So, yeah. Can't wait to coach him up.
All right, man. Well, hey, man, there's one thing I know about coaches' kids. They're going to be one of the more polished off ones and more disciplined kids on the field. So let's go ahead and move forward, man. We got pick number 28. It's going to go to, pick 29. It's going to go to the Blue Jays. We got Kyrie Ross. So tell us about that young athlete.
I actually didn't get to experience that kid, so I couldn't really tell you much about him, but I will love to coach him, and he will be coached up and ready to play in the Baby Bowl.
All right. So we got young Kyrie going over to the Blue Jays. So we're going to have pick number 28. This pick's going to be by the Rangers. It's going to be young Aiden Weaver going to the Rangers.
Yeah, young Aiden Weaver. He's a true 5. He's a kid that's undersized, but he's playing up. He got heart. Like the kid wanted to play tackle football, and every day in practice, You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing this kid, constantly, step up to the plate. I mean, 9 times out of 10, not 99 out of 100, a kid is going to be bigger than him, but don't have a heart like he does. So, I mean, he's a great kid. Can't wait to coach
So
him.
did he play 5U? Did he play 5U flag during the season, or he was playing 6U flag?
No, he's going to be playing tackle, but he also could.
Oh, but
if
he
he
could be
chose
playing
to.
flag.
Right.
Okay. We got another one of those young athletes playing up. So let's move on to the next pick in the draft. It's going to be pick number 27. We're going to have. Now, I should have practiced this name. I think it is Adonal Smith going over to the Blue
Adnan Smith.
Jays.
Adnan
Adnan
Smith.
Smith.
Adnan
Adnan
Smith.
Smith.
Like,
And any kid who I mess
Adnan.
up their any kid who I mess up their name, I'm giving you an interview at the Baby Bowl. I don't like when people do that, so my mistake. I'm gonna make sure I get him a live interview before we do the Baby Bowl.
say his name is Adnan Smith. He was part of my championship team that I won with. He's actually can play flag again, but he's been on flag the last 3 years, so he wants to move up and play tackle. This kid has a lot of heart. He's like one of my biggest. Like, I ride him because I know the potential that he has, and he's gonna be a monster when he comes up.
So did he start playing? Did he start playing as a 4-year-old? So this is his third year on flag.
I think he actually started at 3.
Okay. So he's a young vet in the game.
He's been on flag for 3 years, I think, or 2 years. If I'm mistaken, he's been on flag for 2 years, and he could go back and play again.
Yeah, he been on flag 2 years, but he can play a 3rd year, but he don't want to. He tired of flag, so he want to move up with the rest of his brothers.
Completely understand that, man. Completely understand that. So we're going to move on to the next pick in the draft. We're going to have pick number 26, and we're going to have young Christian going over to the Rangers. So tell us a little bit more about Christian.
Christian is a kid that has some nice size. I've seen him at the Baby Bowl tryouts. Nice size, got nice height, great hands, like as a lineman can block. Just a great kid overall. And yeah, just can't wait to coach him.
All right, man. Good luck, young Christian. So we're going to move on to the next pick. It's going to be pick number 25. That's going to be King Brown going to the Blue Jays. So tell us a little bit more about King Brown.
King Brown, like, he's another one that I really didn't get to see because I had a lot of stuff going on when they was doing tryouts. So I really didn't get to see him. But I think one time, and he was out there putting on a little show. So I'm looking to coach him and see what he's about.
All right, man. Let's get on to the next pick. And your next pick is going to be Julian Martinez going to the Rangers. Tell us a little bit more about young Julian.
Man, and Julian Martinez is a kid that I was actually trying to get to coach to play spring, but right now he's doing other things, like he's doing other sports. But like, as a kid, they got some great size. He's a baller. He plays both sides of the ball. So, here's a great opportunity to see him, throw on some pads and a helmet, and let's see what he can do.
Man, it's funny you say that. A good salesman, ABC, always be closing. So you got to do what you got to do, Coach. Well, hey, man, we're going to go ahead and get ready to move on to our next pick. And with the next pick of the draft, we're going to have Jalen James going to the Blue Jays.
That's my dog show. That's my dog. Hey, Big J, man. That's Big J, man. If you didn't know who he is, you're about to find out. That's Big J. He's ready. He's a lineman. He's gonna get down there and fight in the trenches on offense. He don't play too much defense, but he want to get on defense. So I'm willing to see what he's gonna do on defense. But on that offensive line, he's gonna get down there in that paint and he gonna hog some.
Man, I love the big boys down in the trenches. Part of the vision behind Semi-Pro Live, even doing ground footage, is so that we get nice highlights of the big boys in the trenches. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for that, young man. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the next pick. Pick number 22, Braden Thomas of the Rangers. Let's hear more about that young athlete.
Man, Braden Thomas, that's been a favorite player of mine since I started coaching him. He's a safety. He can cover side to side. He got speed, closing speed. Right now, he's trying to get from playing flag to playing tackle. But I can promise you this: with that kid's skill set, man, it would not surprise me in two to 3 years where he's a name that everybody knows. And also he's a coach's son. So, like he's gonna be disciplined. He's gonna know the game of football in and out. And I just can't wait to see him, play ball and then play ball from here on out.
Hey, Coach, you got to be careful when you question the kids if they're ready for tackle or not. Last time I did that, I got charged up on the field by Killer Cam. So, no, I'm ready. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was like, all right, big dog, you got it. But all right, let's move on to our next pick. Number 21, Zane Smith, going over to the Blue Jays. Tell us about this young athlete.
Zane Smith is a kid I just picked up this year. I've been working him out at quarterback. He's been doing his job, man. I mean, he's very smart. He's quiet, but he takes in a lot of knowledge. And I believe he's going to be one of the best 6U players to watch for.
Most definitely. Another kid who's on the lookout. So after young Zane was picked up, we're going to move on to number 20, where we're going to have King Mack. Man, hey, these kids got some creative player names. That is an icy name. King Mack, he's going to be going to the Rangers.
Yeah, King Mack is a special kid. I've coached him for the past year. This kid's skill set is crazy. I mean, he has all the top speed. He has all the size. He never complains. He shows up to practice. He works. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't say much. You know what I'm saying? And to a lot of coaches, I mean, like, that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Just practice, work, learn, and play ball. He's a great kid. Can't wait to coach him.
He sound like he's real coachable.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That's starting to be a theme near the bottom.
That makes a big
A whole
difference,
bunch of
especially
these
with
coachable
kids
kids
that
going
age.
early.
You can find a 6-year-old that's going to listen and be coachable. That makes a big difference.
Okay, we got sound back down in Houston. I'm glad we got our host back in here. We can hear you guys clear. Thank you.
What are you doing?
All right, Q. Yeah, Q, chime in as much as you want. This is your thing. You too. So we got our host down in Houston. They back in. So let's move on to our next pick. So we've got Joseph Tafula. Did I get that correct? He's going over to the Blue Jays.
Big JoJo. Hey, look, this kid right here, Big JoJo, when I first got him, he wasn't, I can honestly say that he wasn't like putting in, but like as he done put on them pads, his effort has went to the moon. Like, and flag, I guess he didn't want to play flag. He didn't give no effort, but tackle, his play has went to the moon, man, and he's ready to go. He's a big boy in that paint. He ready to hog something. Like, he ready. Like, JoJo is going to be one of them players in the trenches that you're going to have to watch for, because he going to get after you.
Hey, man, a lot of these big boys start to advance when those pads come out. Plus, some kids just like equipment. They want a cool helmet and some outfits. But Q, Pop, you guys have anything to add?
But definitely Big JoJo is going to make some noise this season.
All right, man. Well, without further ado, we're going to move on to the next pick, number 18. It's going to be Caleb Gaines going over to the Rangers. Tell us about this young athlete.
Man, Caleb Gaines. Caleb Gaines has played O-line for me. He can play every position on the O-line. He's probably the tallest kid, you know what I'm saying, on 6U. He's a great leader. He shows up. He plays. The transition from, flag to tackle has been smooth for him. So, a quarterback's best friend is a good center.
All right,
That's
folks.
That's true.
Now, that's got to be nice and comfortable having a backup center on their roster, especially one that you can depend on. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next pick. We're going to have pick number 17 to go into the Blue Jays. It's going to be Frederick Asbury. Tell us a little bit more about young Fred.
Say, man, if you don't know about Fast Freddy, then you don't know about nobody. I mean, Fast Freddy is the reason why my season turned up the way it did. Like, Fast Freddy, like, he put a lot of pressure on the other kids when he came to the huddle asking questions. He asked all the questions that he could ask. His knowledge, he wanted the approval. Like, he wanted the approval to be that kid. He wanted to be that kid, and he still wants it. So his drive and his hunger is off the roof. So if you don't know about Fast Freddy, you're gonna figure it out in a minute.
All right, man. So Fast Freddy. So let's go ahead and move on to the next pick in the draft. That's going to be pick number 16, Kyron Edwards going to the Rangers. Tell us more about that young man.
Man, Kyron Edwards. He's a great athlete. He's somebody that, man, like, without question, he's at practice. You know what I'm saying? He's there every day. I can count on him. I can tell him what to do, but just like with all kids, like they are constantly learning. So from where Kyle started at to where he's at now, like, he's going to be a dominant player, in his 6U season. He's physical. He's big. You know what I'm saying? He's that kid that does not know how really big he is, like his true size. You know what I'm saying? So, like, once that kid finds out that, it's going to be a problem. Can't wait to coach him.
Most definitely, man. One of these young athletes that's probably going to have get their flowers for the season during these All-Star games. Just from this last All-Star game we did with CCE, there's a lot of players that play on a lot of stacked teams that we haven't got to see, and they get out here on these All-Star teams and they have a chance to show out. So without further ado, let's move on to the next pick in the draft. That's going to be pick number 15, going to the Blue Jays, Josiah McDade. Tell us a little bit more about that young athlete.
Hey, that's my hitter. I mean, when I say that's my hitter, if I want you got, I'm sending him for you. No matter what. If I want you got, I'm sending him to you. It's self-explanatory. That's my hitter.
How many V-Bucks have you paid out over the season?
I ain't paid out no V-Bucks, but I put a lot of bounties on kids.
we got V-Buck bounties all over the field. All right, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the next pick. So we've got my guy, man. I've gotten a chance to get to know this kid at CCE. He played with my son. Oh, actually, there is a correction. We're not going to go with that one. So we're going to skip that one and go on to number 14, which is Langston Gamble.
No.
All right. What do you guys have? We're going to have to take – actually, on that note, we're going to take a quick short break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Baby Bowl Draft live on Semi Okay. All right, folks. This is Channing Humphrey. We are back. We had to take a quick little break because we had a little bit of discrepancy over pick number 14. That player is actually going to be playing in the 7U draft, so we're going to skip that pick. We're going to get back to that later. We're going to pick number 13. Pick number 13 is going to be by the Blue Jays. So this is going to be the second Blue Jays pick in a row. They're going to discuss pick number 14 off the air, and it's going to be none of our business. But either way, pick number 13 is going to be young Langston Gamble. He's going to be on the Blue Jays. Tell us about Langston.
Say, Langston. I call him young Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
I mean, when he comes off that ball, he's blowing it up. When he come off that ball, he turns you up. So if you ain't got your stance right, when he come off that ball, you're gonna be on your butt. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Langston gonna do in tackle this year. He's gonna be a big asset that I picked up. So I'm ready to see what Lawrence Taylor gonna do. Baby Lawrence.
Hey, now you did. That's big shoes to fill. Comparing him to Lawrence Taylor, is he an edge rusher at least?
I mean, he gonna come off that edge.
All right.
He gonna blow up that middle. He gonna do whatever it takes to get you.
So he out there getting the job done. All right. Well, let's move on to the next pick in the draft. We have pick number 12 coming in, going to the Rangers. We have Chase Newton. Tell us about that young athlete.
Man, Chase Newton. Chase Newton is actually like a kid at the time until this Baby Bowl. I had no idea who this kid was until we had the Baby Bowl tryouts. This kid, hey, he's a hell of a lineman. I mean, as soon as I saw him, he was firing off the ball. He could block. He could move. You know, and that's what you love up in any lineman. And then he was playing both sides of the ball with no problem. You know, so as soon as I saw that kid, I knew that he had to be a part of my team.
Yeah, that's one of those things, man. It's hard to teach that aggression on the offensive side of the ball to the big boys at an early age. So anybody who has that talent going in the tackle early, it's always an asset. But let's go ahead and move on to the next pick of the draft. As we approach the top 10, we'll slow it down and do a little bit more talking about each one of these athletes. But at number 10 pick is going to the Rangers. It's going to be Luis Velasquez. Tell us about that young man.
Hey, you skipped number 11.
Number 11. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So it's going to be Jeffrey Berry going to the Blue Jays.
Jeffrey. Hey, look, that's probably the best lineman I got right now. Like, he done came a long way. Like, I probably can't put him at the best, but as this season keep going, he might end up my best lineman. Like Jeffrey is a pure dog. If you whoop Jeffrey, you might as well be prepared to whoop Jeffrey every play after that, because he's trying to get his lick back, and he's gonna get his lick back one way or the other. So that's probably one of my best linemen I got right now.
All right, man. Well, just on that note, man, he's got to be a pretty good lineman. He's one pick outside of being a top 10 player in the Baby Bowl, so that's impressive in itself. Let's go ahead and move on. Now we're into the top 10. These are the elites of the elites out of the Dallas draft. So these are some of the top flag players that you've seen. You've seen these kids all over our broadcast, Wednesday Night Lights, Big 12 action, all over the place. So check them out. So let's go ahead, without further ado, the name that I messed up and said early, the number 10 pick of the draft is Luis Velasquez going to the Rangers.
Vasquez. Yes.
Luis Vasquez going to the Rangers.
Call him King Louis. King Louis. I had the opportunity to play against this kid. You know what I'm saying? He's played 6U this past season, and I had the opportunity to have a taste of him when he came down and played me at a 5U tournament. Kid is super talented. I mean, we all know that if any kid plays 6U back-to-back years, I mean, they're gonna have a hell of a second, season. So I mean, as soon as he was up on the board, I knew that I had to take a dominant lineman that's played tackle, you know what I'm saying, for a year and going into his second year.
Yeah, you
Most
stole my line.
definitely.
Yeah, to piggyback that, you stole my lineman, man. You know, Louis is a TNS Cougar, you know what I'm saying, for life. He TNS for life, you know. G
Hey,
stole my lineman.
but
It's okay.
Sunday, Coach G's coaching them. So, you know what I'm saying? I get that opportunity.
Hey. I already got my lick with him.
You know, so
So,
I'm just saying. You know.
All right. Well, hey, man. Well, hey, we have both coaches. I'm not going to let it just since we're going to take a little bit more time on these top 10. So, Coach, man, tell us about this young man. You got to coach him up close and personal, man. Tell us how is he an athlete or as a kid.
man, when meeting Louis, you know, I didn't know, like, because I knew he played 6U last year. So I only got to coach him in a couple of tournaments. So when I was like, man, when is Louis' birthday? And his daddy told me that birthday, I was like, oh, I can get him? Oh. So, you know, I put him in that paint. Once I put him in that paint, and he got the hogging a little bit. So I was like, okay, Louis, all right. So then he came up to me this season. He was like, Coach, I want to be the captain of the line. I looked at him, I said, you know, that brings a lot of complications. He was like, I'm ready to take on that job. And I was like, oh, okay, Louis, I got you. I'm going to make you the captain. If you don't hold your end of the bargain, then you know what it is. And man, that kid, man, he just makes me so proud because he's a happy kid. Like he don't care about the last play. I don't never see him out there crying and all of that. So I'm happy to have Louis on my 6U this year.
Well, hey, man, big shout out to Louis. And without further ado, we've got to move on to the number 9 overall pick in the 2022 Baby Bowl draft. This one's going to be going over to the Blue Jays, Brandon Davis Jr.
Oh,
Tell us
Big
about
D.
this young athlete.
Say, man, I seen this kid when he played for Titans flag, and he was in my backfield too much. I'm talking about he was in my backfield. And I was asking my lineman, like, why is he in my backfield? And they was looking at me like, well, Coach, he keep doing this and doing that. So I was like, hey, I want him. So after the game, I went and found his daddy. And I was like, hey, man, I want to coach him. He was like, man, you know, I'm Titans. You know, I'll stick with my people. And I was like, that's cool, but I still want to coach him. And so when I seen that I had the opportunity to get him, you know, I hurry up and snagged him. I want to coach him, so I'm gonna snag him. He's coming with me.
Yeah, I mean, that kid Brandon. I mean, Deuce is a special kid. I mean, like once you see him, and once you see his father, you already know what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of kid where every year from now on, every year, that kid is gonna be known as a havoc on the line. Whether it's O line or D line, I don't know too many kids who can stand in front of this kid. You know, just like Keedy said, man, as a head coach, that's that type of kid that you got to figure out. Hey, who's his father? Who's his mother? You know what I'm saying? I mean, can like anything happen where, you know, I could get that kid and, you know, like his father is stuck with his guns. But, you know, I mean, just like Keedy, I'm waiting too. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting too. Hey, I'm waiting too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's an open door over here. It's an open door over here.
Hey, dog. Look, I went and found his daddy. I had to go find his daddy.
Man,
he was. I was on my lineman butt. Like, man, why is this kid in my backfield? I was hot. And the kids, they was telling me, well, Coach, he keep doing this and doing that. So I put 2 people on. So I was like, oh no, you ain't gonna keep doing that. I put 2 people on him, and then I made the running back go blocking 2. So if you came through here, you blocking 2. So shoot, we stood him up, but he's definitely gonna be in your backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and move on. And now this next pick, man, this is one of my personal favorite picks of the draft. With the number 8 pick of the draft, we got Killer Cam.
Yep, Killer Cam, Camden Acree. Man, this goes way back when I first met Cam. This was the preseason last year. It was the summertime. My team was looking great. I mean, I couldn't see nobody, even keeping up with us. And this kid was on his team all by himself. All he needs is a couple of blocks, and he make a couple of moves. And if you don't get him, he's gone. I mean, this kid easily, me and Keedy have like talked about this. This kid easily could have been the number 1 pick in this draft. I mean, easily. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that this kid can't do. And on top of that, his IQ by far may be above all the kids that's in this draft. Like, he's a kid that can play every spot on the field. You know what I'm saying? And as he's trying to transition to tackle, it's all coming along for him. It's coming great. And I'm glad, he's on my team. So, Killer.
Say another thing about Cam, man. When I first seen this kid, we was playing NDU. And we was playing 9-man football. And we had all our dogs out there. And every time we scored, he came back and scored. And we scored, and he scored. And then we scored, and he scored. And it just kept doing the same thing. And I was like, oh, my God, man, this one kid is the real deal like that?
Mm-hmm.
And, man, the last play of the game, we finally got his flag on the extra point. And I was like, woo, we won the game. Like, we pulled that game out. It wasn't nothing but a scrimmage anyway. But it was just the way that game went. Like, we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when we played him in King of Texas, I had already told G, like, bro, you better run him. If you don't run him, we're going to win. The first touchdown, when he turned that corner, I say, oh, shit. I'm sorry, my bad. I was like, man, here we go. We got to deal with him. And then, so, we just started, the game started battling back and forth. That kid right there is amazing.
Hey.
Like, if you don't know about Killer Cam, then you
Channing. Killer Cam.
Yes, sir.
Killer Cam probably has the best vision that you've seen a young kid have.
Point blank. And my thing about Cam, it's the IQ. Because
he's very smart. Like, his cuts.
A lot of kids.
Because you still got that out. How we IQ on nigga if I'm on
a lot of things with Killer Cam is the fact that, man, everybody's going to catch up to each other as far as athleticism-wise. Kids are going to get faster, some are going to get slow, but having that mastery over his IQ that early, and the fact when he was playing quarterback, when I saw him, he was willing to block. He had probably one of the most heart on the team, and his defensive skill is under-exaggerated. And the biggest thing you have to worry about going into tackles is ain't no more flag guarding, and now he can jump cut. That was one of his biggest weaknesses during the season. He'll start juking kids out, hit you with a jump cut, and the play is over. Now that's going to be legal. So he's going to be one of the players to look out for in this draft.
Now, his cuts is tremendous.
Right. He has the best feet.
Hey, shout out to his pops. He gave me one of the most grown-up gifts I've ever gotten in life. Dude gave me a pin that was made out of titanium. I felt like Obama, like I need to start signing documents.
We actually had an argument about this kid because I actually picked him, and G got mad.
Hold on, man.
Like, no, you can't have him.
Hey, man.
We had to stop the draft last night, and because for 45 minutes to an hour because he didn't want to let me have him.
Hey, look, man, he recruited Cam so that he wouldn't have to come up with defenses to stop him. It defeats the whole.
But this is my thing with it. If I'm the Detroit Lions and you're the Dallas Cowboys and I pick Emmitt Smith, you better pick Barry Sanders. That's all
true.
I can say about it.
Well, hey, let's see who this next pick is, man. Without further ado, pick number 7, Colin Battle, going to the Blue Jays. Tell us about young Battle.
Colin, MVP. That's the MVP of my championship I won. He's the MVP of my season. He got the biggest heart. Like this kid, he knows the game in and out. Like in and out. He knows the game of football. He's very smart. He tends to sometimes he might tense a little bit, but if you make him mad, oh, you're in trouble. So you make him mad, he's coming for you. So I had to get him on that bus where everything was full speed. Like everything you do, full speed. And he started putting that in his brain. He'll come to the huddle. Coach, full speed. So I'll be like, okay, I give him the ball. And you see why he got MVP. He's the reason why I got these.
Well, and he just show off the rings.
Yeah.
We pull out my son's Texas Sports 60 right now. I'm messing with you. I need to keep it in my pocket so he stopped taking it to school.
He's the reason why I get to walk around with this big shiny thing on, you know. And I love that kid though. He like all of my kids put in tremendous work though. Like all of them put the work in, and he carried us through hard times. You know what I'm saying? Like the day we played SED in the championship game, this kid literally had a wreck that morning and came and scored 3 touchdowns. Like car totaled out.
Legend stuff.
Car totaled out, came up out the car, scored 3 touchdowns. Self-explanatory.
Hey man, it's a young dog right there. Well, hey, without further ado, we're gonna move on to pick number 6. Ahmad Love going to the Rangers. Tell us about this young man.
Man, Ahmad Love, man, he is the how do you say? He's probably the happiest kid. You know what I'm saying? He's always smiling. Right now, he's in pads and helmet. When he makes a tackle or knocks somebody out, he's laughing. You know, he's real goofy, but he's a true athlete. He has great feet, great size, great speed, and he has a love connection in between TNS and SED. You know, I had him last year in the off season, right? I was working with him, but he wasn't what he was when he went to TNS. I'll give it to Keedy and them. I mean, man, when I played him during our season game, man, like he was a thorn in my side. I'm looking at a kid that was on my team, and he's going touchdown for touchdown in a season game, and I'm like, man, he wasn't doing that with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give it to them to go ahead and work with him, be patient with him, and get it out of him. And now he's back with me, and I couldn't be any more happier. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, he's a great kid though. Great talent.
Tank. One thing about Tank, like when he went to SCD, like when he left, he was smiling, like he said. When he came back from SCD, he had this frown on his face, and I couldn't figure him out. But that's the kid that I said earlier in the draft that he scored 5 times in one game on the Wednesday night. That's him. He came, he went to that, we took him to that Wednesday night, gave him the ball. He was like, shoot, ain't nobody stopping me no more. He has some of the unorthodox feet, but his stop and go is like no other.
Right. He flashed.
Once he bounce on you, you grass. you're out of there. He can get you. And
All
man,
right, got
like he just turned up that whole rest of the year. Like he was ready to go. He had that smile on his face, like G say. He was in the huddle just like this. Every play I call for him, he'll be back there laughing. And I'll be like, man, I know you can get up here and mess up. And he'll go to the crib, and I'll be like, oh shit, there go Tank. There go the Tank I know right there. That's a bad man. Mama, there goes that man.
most definitely, man. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next pick. It's time for the top 5. These are the elite of the elite. So every kid after this, you know, is a dog. So with the number 5 pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft, number 5 will be Mason Walker going to the Blue Jays. Tell us
Okay,
about this young man.
this kid Mason, he was running all over me for SCD. And I was like, who is this kid? I kept asking G, who is that? He'll be like, man, Kitty, he it, but I got another one. And I'll be like, man, that's the one right there. He'd be like, no, I got another one. And I was like, okay, but I like him. And I'm talking about he was pulling flags at corner. He was taking on blocks. And I was like, man, you know what? Since we drafting, and I know G not gonna draft none of my kids, I'm gonna steal a couple of his. So I'm like, okay, he not gonna take none of my kids because I know how he is. So I'm gonna go ahead and snatch some of his. So I went on and snatched him on up, and he stopped the draft about him too. Like, no, no,
Hey,
no. I'm talking about we argued for at least 2 hours about him. Like, no, Katie, you can't have him. You can't have my nephew. That's my nephew. That's my nephew. How you gonna take my nephew? They said coach's kids was off limits. All that good stuff. So we
hey, man,
all
you letting down secret rules, man. You letting down secret
they
rules.
said coach's kids was off limits.
You
Hey.
I'm
gonna
like,
repeat
no,
it?
that's your nephew. That's not your kid. That's your nephew. No, he mine. That's my kid. So, you know, me and him argue for hours about the kid. And then, so finally he was like, man, okay, Kitty, go on pick him.
Hey, man, look. All that I'm gonna say is like, man, like that kid is like family with me. Man, I've coached this kid. Man, like we done went through. I mean, I'm talking about he was one of 3 kids that I actually started that flag team with. He was the one kid that was at practice every day. Even when his older brothers, you know, was playing at another org, right? Thanks to his mom, you know, thanks to his dad, where they've actually let me coach this kid when he really could have been at another team, and they left him with me during that, and they trusted me with him. So, you know, man, like that's like a nephew to me, you know, a son. He has a great father, you know, like Coach P, you know, like for the Hot Boys, and he's just a great kid, man. Like he's the best running back as of 2021. The best running back probably as far as a season goes from start to finish. You know, like he had probably the best season out of all the running backs.
Man, I don't know what Coach P used to look like when he was 20, man, but he been raising these running backs. I don't know. I don't know
Right.
what's.
Nah,
Hey, I know he must have been nice, bro. Coach P must have been nice.
Nah, he the real deal, man. Like that kid is definitely the real deal. I like
Right.
it. And you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing him over here with the Blue Jays.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to let Coach get to his revenge because the number 4 pick is going over to the Rangers. And the number 4 pick is going to be Messiah Bailey.
Messiah Bailey.
Messiah Bailey going to the Blue Jays.
He's he is the cheat code. He's probably the fastest.
The Rangers, sorry.
Yeah. He's probably the fastest kid on this list. As far as size goes, I don't know any kid that has his size and his speed. You know, like he's a total package. And the great thing about this kid is, man, you know, he could be riding up in my back seat, right? And he's just a kid. He wants a Happy Meal like any other kid. You know what I'm saying? Like this kid is huge, you know, with great speed. He has a great father, great mother. Me and his mother was in school together, you know, high school. So it was kind of like weird when like I saw him playing for another team, and I'm like, man, you know, like that's your son, like you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like just go ahead and bring him over and just give me that chance to like coach him up. And she did that, and man, like his ceiling is so high. His ceiling is so high. It's a very special kid, you know, and I can't wait to coach him, you know, for the season and up in the Baby Bowl.
Messiah is a beast. When I saw that kid, I was like, man, they got a big old kid over there.
Right.
He's on the Titans too. I had to put 3 people on him for the Titans. I had to put my hitter on him. I had to put my hitter and my other hitter on him. So I had to put 2 people right there and then send another person around there. So if he get past them 2, he got to come past another one. And I ran right past him every time, but he was on the play. Most of the plays, he was back there. Like he's a very, like you say, he the cheat code. He looked like a Big Aiden.
Yeah, for real.
Like, see, Big Aiden didn't get to play flag. So he got to play, he actually got to play flag. So ain't no telling what he can get ready to do and tackle.
Right.
Like, it's no telling what he's capable of, because he's probably the biggest kid out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to move on to the number 3 pick that's going to the Blue Jays. And with that number 3 pick, Jordan Boylan Jr. going to the Blue Jays. Tell us more about that young
You
athlete.
saw G face when you said that.
Hey, man. Hey, look, man. Like this man has literally chose out of his top 5 picks. He's literally choosing these SED kids, man.
Look,
I don't know why though.
The only reason,
you got a nice
no.
together.
Let's get this clear right now. The only reason why I picked your 2 kids right there is because I knew you wasn't gonna pick my kids. So you didn't pick my kids. Of course, I'm supposed to pick yours.
Hey, man.
This is not a TNS and SED game.
No. Hey,
Texas Rangers versus the Toronto Blue Jays.
Right.
So,
hey, all these kids is great.
How can you? Well, my thing
but
is,
that kid right there, you know, I made a couple of calls. And I was like, hey, who is this? And they was like, oh, yeah, Keith, you need to get him. He do this, he do that.
It's the truth.
And I was like, okay. They was like, yeah. I say, when do I need to pick him? Oh, yeah, you need to pick him like number 2, number 3 on your list. So when we chose and he didn't come off the rip with him, I was like, well, guess what? He's coming with me. And boy, G, hey man, when I say the man stopped the draft 3-4 times because I was picking kids that I knew he wanted.
Hey man, G been out here recruiting for his fall team, getting ready for spring football.
This is
recruiting the draft.
I'm recruiting for the draft. I want my team to be good. I know
I got the trophies. He ain't ready to wait for spring.
Look, all them kids down that list, I know they're good players. I know they're great players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But having him on that team with that list, oh man, it makes it awesome. With the list you already named with him, oh man,
hey man,
stop that.
Hey, look, Mason Walker is one of my great backs, but Jordan Boylan, you know, it's crazy because when he first started off, he didn't start off as the running back, but we gave him 1 carry and we saw like everybody eyes open, man.
Definitely.
Hey,
he went to,
hey,
that's the one that went to the crib with a minute and
yeah. That's
yeah.
Hey, so like that kid is special, man. seeing him go from flag to pass, it's been an easy transition for him. You know what I'm saying? Easy transition for him. I mean, like, he's a special kid. I mean, I've been glad to coach the kid. The kid is well mannered, got great family. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just an all around great kid. Like, he's a great player. He loves football. That's a kid that I mean, without a doubt, year in and year out, I know that he's going breathe in and breathe out football constantly.
Yes, sir.
He's a true athlete.
He's definitely a true athlete.
All right. Well, we're almost to the halfway point of the draft. Well, we're almost finished with the Dallas portion. We only got 2 more picks left, so these are the consensus two best players that are going to be in the draft overall. Now, for any Houston parents, we are doing the Houston draft immediately after this. We're going to take a commercial break, get the Houston coaches on. I just didn't want their sound quality to pull down the quality of the overall production. So we're going to be right back with the Houston coaches and the Houston portion of the draft, so don't go anywhere. Now, without further ado, the number 2 pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft.
That pick right there is Elijah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Coach.
Sorry, Chandler.
No, we'll let you guys do the last 2. No, you got it, Coach.
Elijah Vera easily could have been the number 1 pick if I had the number 1 pick. You know what I'm saying? Easily. This kid, out of all the kids up on the list, so what he did was last year, I tried to get the kid to play flag. This kid did not want to play flag.
Get out of here.
You know, this kid did not want to play flag. I mean, like, we had a great flag season, obviously, but he didn't want to play flag. This kid was so determined to play tackle last year. So he went to go find a team to play tackle on, had a great season. He learned how to do everything that it takes to be a great football player with pads and helmet on. When he came back this year, he's trying to get everything that's owed to him. I mean, this kid can hit. He's disciplined. He has speed. This kid is probably going to be one of those kids, right, where teams will play against this kid, right, and they will not run his way. If he gets a hit on you, they're not going to run his way. You know what I'm saying? Also, he has great feet. You know what I'm saying? This kid is an athlete. You know what I'm saying? His parents put in work with him. You know what I'm saying? My only thing is I tell him, you know, constantly, you know what I'm saying, love the game, love football. You know what I'm saying? It should make you happy. You know what I'm saying? And with your athletic ability, you know that you're better than most kids. So you're just competing against yourself. You know what I'm saying? So play the game, right, and be happy playing it. And for the most part, I see this kid doing that. And his ceiling is so high because he's really only 6. He's played 1 year of 6U football. He's coming back for another year of 6U football, and he's a special kid. He's gonna be that kid where, man, people are gonna be like, man, like, who's this kid? You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait for his season to start because he got a lot of expectations that his parents have gave him and me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to coach him in this Baby Bowl showcase.
Nah, for sure.
No, but go ahead, Coach. Did you have something to add to that?
Nah, for sure. I got to see him like once or twice during the tackle game, and I seen him put some licks down out there. So I'm gonna probably have to steer a little clear of him. So if he put him on one side of the field, I'm going the other way. So he better figure it out right now.
the gamesmanship starting. The gamesmanship starting early. But without further ado, we got to get to number 1
with the last pick in the Baby Bowl draft.
Well, I'm gonna let you take it away, Coach.
King of Texas, MVP of King of Texas, Jackson Bland.
Well, hey, Coach, tell us more about this young
man.
Athlete.
This kid right here, man.
All overall.
I picked him number 1 overall because this kid right here stays 2 hours away. and he came to my practice, and he was like, Coach, did you look for any more players for the King of Texas? And I looked at him. I said, yeah, put him on out there. Not knowing what he could really do, but they drove 2 hours away. So, I'm like, yeah, man, put him out there. You done drove 2 hours. You might as well put him out there. I had at least 23 kids over there, I think. But his dad put him out there, and he said, you got him, Coach. I ain't got nothing to say. And he went over there to the side. So we was doing flag pulling drills, and the kid was sliding into his flags. And I was wondering, like, why are you sliding into your flags? But if you look at the game we played against SED in the championship game, he was sliding into some hell of a flags that he was pulling. And
He might be a
Powell,
baseball player.
me and Powell, we was like, we was trying to change him up from doing that. But he was like, no, Coach, this is what I do. So I hadn't ran him or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't ran it. I hadn't gave him the ball or nothing. So, all my parents, we was losing the SED 6-0. Now my parents was over there. They was screaming, give Jackson the ball, Keedy. Why you ain't gave Jackson the ball? I hadn't gave him the ball the whole game. I gave him the ball. He broke. SED came through and tackled him. He came over to the huddle. He came to the huddle. He was he had turf beads all in his hoodie, all across his face. And he was like, Coach, they tackled him. I say, so run it again. And he had this look on his face like, nah, I ain't gonna run it right now. So I ran another kid, and I looked at him. I say, you ready? He said, yeah. I ran him again. He went to the crib. I say, damn, that was quick. Like, I'm talking about, it was instant like that. He was gone. He was breaking moves. He had moves. So on the last drive, I ran him 2 more times. I was like, you got to get us in there. But he got us down there, and I ran this other kid, and he scored. But if it wasn't for this kid right here, we wouldn't have been in that game because but he wasn't worried about running the ball. He was like, Coach, I got you on the flag pulls. Don't worry about it. If they break, I'm going to get him. And he went and hawked down some of the best two of the best kids I've seen run the ball from SED. He went and hawked them down. So, I was like, I was asking a couple of my parents, like, hey, who should I pick first in the baby bowl? And all of them was like, nigga, Jackson. Like, why not pick him? And I was like, you right. Because I'm not going to give Coach G a chance to get him. So that was the reason why he was my first pick.
Look, man, this kid Jackson, he's a great talent. I mean, he has the size, he has the speed, he has the track speed that like translates to the field because he's a track runner also. So, he's that type of kid that if you don't get him at the line and if he has a hole, you will pay for it every time. So, I mean, just like all these kids, all these top 10 kids, you can even go down to 15 where, some of these kids like can probably play on a lot of teams and be the number one player on these teams.
Yeah.
So so all these kids could be easily number one picks. So, for like Jackson, hey, you have the crown, you know what I'm saying? So it gets heavy. So with that expectation of being that number one pick, we do expect big things from you.
Just like my boy Mark Jackson say on NBA TV, hand down, man down. If you miss a tackle, he's gone. Like I only had one game. I coached him 3 games because it was one tournament. But that one game, he only ran the ball for me that one game. And he never came back there and said, hey, Coach, can I run the ball? You had those kids. Coach, I want to run the ball. He didn't come back there with that. He was eyes up. Like, what's up? What you want me to do? And so, I tell him what to do, and he'll run right over there to the spot. I tell him I didn't have to go over there and touch him and be like, line up right here. I didn't have to do none of that. He was already ready. So shout out to his parents, because they definitely had him ready to play.
Mhm.
And they drove 2 hours away just to get an experience.
Yep, from Princeton, Texas.
They drove from
Anybody knows
Princeton.
where that is? Like that's
I
a
know
way.
where that's at. That's one of my guys from up north, man. That's over by Anna and Melissa, Van
Yep.
Alstyne area.
Yeah.
We actually started off covering football up there, and that was our first youth experience.
Okay.
And with them driving way out here to play with me, I forever love that kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I count him as one of my babies.
Hey, me too. He's one of my babies. I love him too.
Yeah, because I know
Hey, man,
you want him. That's why.
Hey,
You love him.
Come on,
hey,
man. Come on.
to all coaches, there are some hidden gems up there in the northern suburbs. You better get
Oh,
up
yeah.
out there.
Definitely. Hey, if you can find a diamond in the rut, I mean, hey, it's good to have one. But that kid right there, he's just the diamond with a bunch of them. And you know what I'm saying? He helped me, He the reason why I can lay in the bed and Coach G got a dream about me every night. Cause I be holding these trophies. He be like, hey, that ain't have nothing to do with me. If I was there, you wouldn't have got that one.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Hey.
If I was there,
hey,
you wouldn't have got that one. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
hey, the good thing about this argument, this is one of those that we can settle it on the field. You'll be able to see
Oh,
both
nah,
of
that's
these coaches.
look, regardless, that's my guy, man. Coach G is my guy. I
Okay.
talk to him every day, damn near. Like, if I don't talk to him tomorrow, he's
Facts.
definitely gonna call me Friday.
Right,
And
facts.
we're gonna chop it up, man. And that's my guy, man. SCD is much love over there with y'all.
Yep.
So y'all
Hey.
can never think that I'm hating. I'm never gonna hate on y'all because that's my guy. If he say Keedy and pick up the phone, hey man, I need you to bring some of them kids and play. I'm a bring them.
Yeah. And like that's the thing where like on the field, like of course the parents, like the kids see us constantly compete, but at the end of the day, like we can call each other, talk to each other about the game, joke around. You know what I'm saying? It's still a sport, and it's still about the youth.
It's competitive.
You know what
We
I'm saying?
competitive. I mean, we competitive as people, but
Right.
at the end of the day, that's my guy, man.
Right.
And
All
you
right,
know what I'm
guys.
saying?
Well, I'm getting the signal from my producer. We've got to go ahead and get ready to wrap this portion up. But you can see both of these coaches live in living color on Semi Pro Live this weekend, live from A1D1. Now, the game is going to be on Sunday or Saturday, Jazz? That's Sunday?
Sunday.
The game will be Sunday live. Catch it here for all the details. Come on out to A1D1. But it's going to be cold. But make sure you show up so they can get that gate. But if you want to stay at the crib and watch Semi Pro Live, I won't hold it against you. Oh, they got indoors. Yes, we got indoor back. They got clean bathrooms, A1D1s, no porta potties. So hey, it's gonna be a nice place for you to warm up in between your kids' games. So make sure you go ahead and come on out. And when you're on the inside getting warm, then watch Semi Pro Live. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We're gonna get the Houston coaches on here, get popping them situated, and we'll be right back.
Shannon Humphreys, Semi Pro Live, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Appreciate that, Shannon.
You know what I'm saying? If you ever want to interview with me, man, it's Keedy Cashflow on Facebook, Instagram Keedy Cashflow, Snapchat Keedy Cashflow, represent Keedy TV. I appreciate you, Semi Pro, for sure.
Hey, man, appreciate you. And I definitely will have some of those TNS interviews as they're over in the Big 12 conference this year. We'll get a lot of you. Now, either way, Coach G, that's just my dog. So I don't care what a league say. I'm gonna go find him and get some of his kids on my program.
Appreciate that.
Until the weekend, man, we'll be right back with the Houston Baby Bowl draft. Don't touch that dial. You're watching Semi Pro Live. Okay. All right, this is Channing Humphrey with Semi-Pro Live, and we are back. Well, it's H-Town edition time, so we're going to go ahead and get to the people who started the Baby Bowl, and where it started was down in Houston. So we saved what some would say the best draft for last. So we're going to have Pop Green and Coach Q. They're going to come on and tell us a little bit more about what it took to get this thing running, and a little bit more about the things they have going on in this second annual Baby Bowl.
So, Baby Bowl, man, just the second year. Hey, we got Dallas in there, man. Y'all have seen Dallas had a great draft. This year is Houston, man. We started with Houston last year. This event is, a cheap event for the parents. We're not charging that much. It's $120. You get all kinds of stuff. You get the gloves. You get the uniforms, nice uniforms, great quality. You get the rings. You see this ice, but we got that baby. We got a ring with a baby in it. So that's the first time somebody ever did that. So there's no
wah. The ring got a baby.
Got a baby coming. So then we got the visors. We got the streaming towels. We got, all participants get great trophies. We got MVP trophies. We got chains. We got the highlight video. It's like the best event ever. Nobody ain't giving out this much stuff. I don't care where you go. I don't care what event you go.
Not for $120.
And I'm standing on that. So, hey, it's going to be a great event.
This is one of the biggest bang for your bucks. They're getting gloves, you're getting a visor. And hey, a lot of you guys used to buy your gloves and visors from me. So them gloves going $30 plus a piece, and visors are $25 plus a piece. The towel is $5 plus a piece. So he's giving out a lot of free stuff to go out with the event. So, kids love free stuff, and bring them in, man. There's not a lot of events that focus on the younger kids, and this is one of those few ones. But Coach, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so, hey, like I said, it's just the best of the best.
All right, Coach Q, you got anything to add on that before we get to your coaches?
Man, let's go ahead and get started, man. I'm excited for this one.
All right, man. Well, Jasmine, put a cool graphic up as we switch coaches. We don't want to look all sloppy. We'll be right back.
Which means I got to switch positions.
What you see up there, though?
All right, this is Channing Humphrey with Semi-Pro Live. We are back, and it looks like I was wrong. They didn't need to change positions. My downstream camera I can only see two of them. So either way, we're going to get right into it. So before we can start picking these draft picks, we got to introduce ourselves to the men who are going to be in charge of these two organizations. So Pop, Q, if you could introduce your two Houston Baby Bowl coaches.
Hey, we got Coach Face over here to the left.
Y'all introduce yourself.
The reigning champ.
Introduce yourself.
You know what I'm saying? The reigning champ, Coach Face, in the building.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Yeah, I'm Coach Fred.
What
We're
team?
different this year. Athletics.
Okay.
Ball team, GDT. Go Bloody Titans.
Go Bloody.
ABN.
Yeah.
Athlete. By nature.
Bully babies.
Bully babies. Big bullies.
All right, man. Well, without further ado, we've got two organizations being represented in this all-star team that have some of the coolest jerseys. Maybe not some of the coolest records, but they definitely got some of the nicest drip. So we're going to start off with number 35 of this draft. That pick is going to be picked up by the Marlins. And without further ado, the number 35 pick of the 2022 Houston Baby Bowl will be Kingston Gray Jones going over to the Marlins.
Oh, Kingston. Oh yeah, he gonna be one of the top D linemen, O linemen in this year on that 6U level. He actually been playing tackle football for about 3 years now, so he got a lot of experience on the O line.
Most definitely. So we're gonna start off the draft with the big man coming off the board first, and without further ado, we're gonna move on to pick number 34, Bryson Adams going over to the Athletics.
Yeah, Bryson Adams. He's a lineman, real tough. Hard nosed man. Work hard, do whatever the coach tell him. I look forward to coaching.
Let's go, Bryce.
Young Bryson Adams picking up number 34. And with our next pick number 33 of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft is going to be with the Marlins. It's going to be Charles Thomas going over to the Marlins. Tell us about this young athlete.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, so the 33rd pick was Charles. So tell us a little bit more about that young man.
Charles Thomas, he a real speedy kid on the small side, but play big. So he's gonna be a real good asset.
Most definitely. Well, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving, man. We've got pick number 32 coming up. This pick's going to the Athletics. That's going to be Aiden Hernandez. Tell us a little bit more about that kid.
Well, real disciplined kid. I haven't seen him like in the fall, but when he came out to the trials, he showed that he will do anything the coach tell him to do. Respectable kid, and like I said about the last kid, I look forward to coaching him. I look forward to seeing if I can get his max potential.
Most definitely. The next pick is going to be by the Marlins. Number 31. It's going to be Josiah Gonzalez. Tell us a little bit more about this young man.
Josiah, he real small and physical. Like he been playing football for the last 2 years, I believe, and he's gonna be a real great asset to the team as well.
Most definitely. Well, hey, man, we've rounded up our our first 5 picks of the draft. We're gonna go ahead and move on to pick number 30. And that's gonna be Jackson Cooper. He's with the Athletics.
Jackson Cooper, a real skillful kid. If I'm not sure, I think he plays quarterback. I didn't really get to see any of his fall tape, but at tryouts, he came out and he made a name for himself, and he stood out. And I took him because I think we can do some things with him. He has a pretty good skill set, player that you can put in multiple positions, and he can have an impact.
Got it. Shout out to our luxury sponsor, Impact. If you're looking for jerseys, gloves, I felt like that was my key to do a commercial. If you're looking for jerseys, gloves, visors, and other sporting good needs, get in contact with Q or Pop. Well, now that commercial is over, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next pick. They're going to be going over to the Marlins. It's going to be pick number 29. And Coach, help me out with pick number 39.
Demetrius.
He's going to be going to the Marlins. So tell us what went behind picking this young man.
In DP, he real aggressive. He real physical on the O-line. So he's going to be a real good asset to our O-line and block the file on our backs that we got.
Well, you know what they say, no line, no shine. Well, we're going to pick up our next pick, number 28. It's going to be an athlete going to the Athletics. And the pick number 28 will be John King. Tell us a little bit more about this young man.
Yeah, I think he came from Seattle all the way down here to Houston,
Mm.
and he's dynamic. Before I seen him at the Baby Bowl, because I came late on the first trial, but the second trial, he came out and he was easily one of the best backs out there. And his highlight tape proved what I seen in person. And it was just, I'm happy to have him, and I can't wait to turn him loose.
Well, hey man, Q and Pop, isn't this your second time having a young athlete from Seattle? I know you guys had a kid from Seattle last year, if I'm correct.
I think we have like 3 or 4 coming from
Okay.
Seattle. Real good kids, man. They got some real good athletes out there in Seattle. What team do they play for? The Higher Academy?
Here.
Higher Academy. Yeah, some real good kids. They sent the highlight tape in. I had posted it on the Facebook page, and he looks like a baller, man. I'm really excited to see this boy in person against some of this Houston competition.
Getting that West Coast reach. So that means we all have to look. He might end up in a Gorilla Mob uniform next year. They know how to make him travel. I don't know. Well, all right, man. Let's move on to the next pick in the draft. It's going to be number 27, going to the Marlins. Travis Wilkins. Let's know a little bit more about this young man. Travis Wilkins, coach, did you hear me?
Oh yeah. Travis, yeah, he actually played for the Savages last year, and he on my spring team. So I look forward to really getting to work with this kid.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's move on to our next pick. Now, had a pick for the Marlins. Our next pick is going to be the Athletics. We're going to have Buchanan. He's going to be picked up by the Athletics. Huh?
Yeah.
She will be picked up by the Athletics.
Yeah, Lakin, I coached her this past year on 5U flag, and she might be a girl, but she's one of those kids where it's like I know that this is pretty much a boy sport, but I'm gonna make a name for myself. And pretty much every time I gave her the ball this past year, she took it to the house. Like it may look like she's not moving as fast as she is, but if she get in front of you, you're not catching her from behind. And yeah, and she's real tough, real tough. I'm glad I was able to get her.
Hey, she got to be tough. There's a lot of good competition in this Baby Bowl, and the fact that she was able to be picked ahead of 10 male athletes is a tribute to her talent on the field. But without further ado, let's move on to our next pick. Pick number 25 is going to the Marlins. Caleb Tasby. Tell us about Caleb.
Oh, Caleb was a steal for me. I ain't gonna lie, he slept on him. So he real speedy kid, real fast, real aggressive, and he gonna show you why you slept on him.
Ooh, dang, I slept on him.
Mm-hmm. That was a steal for me.
I slept on him.
Hey, we're gonna mark it down as a steal pick. The Athletics still one from under the nose of the Marlins. But after that pick, we're going to go ahead and move on to pick number 25. Correction, pick number 24. Semi-Pro Live guys learn how to count. Pick number 24 is going to be Josiah Martinez going over to the Athletics. Tell us about young Martinez.
Young Martinez, when he came to the Baby Bowl, he stood out to me. I mean, he came to the trial, he stood out just because he might not have been one of the biggest kids, but he has a big heart, you know, and like he was a very respectable kid. Every time I said something to him, yes sir, no sir. It didn't matter who I lined him up in front of. He was gonna do whatever the coach asked him, and he played for a class organization too. The Oilers out here, and they were a pretty good team this past year. So
Really good team.
Not the Oilers, I'm tripping. The OTE.
And my dog, she's South Texas.
No, I know a couple kids out there from OTE, and he stood out. And so I'm glad to have him, man. I can't wait to see him against the other team, man. Let him turn up on these other kids with less experience.
Well, hey, man, them South Texas kids start early. There's a couple of kids on that OTE flag organization that played flag. They got in a little bit. I think they were Division II, so they played 5U flag. Then they played up 6U flag. There was a couple of 5U players that were even playing some 7U tackle. So it's some impressive gyms down there in South Texas. You got to get down there. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next pick in the draft. We're going to have Coach, help me out with number 20. With number 23. And I'm going to give this kid a interview during the Baby Bowl because that is going to be the third name that I almost messed up. But, Coach, without further ado, pick number 23. Adriel?
Oh, yeah. Adriel.
Picked up by the Marlins.
Oh, Adriel was a good pickup, too. I seen him at the Baby Bowl and just knew I had to have him.
We want to elaborate, man. What'd you see?
You're talking like a.
You're not talking about enough. That's it.
That's what I'm talking.
Oh, no, I said Adrian was a good pickup. I seen him at the Baby Bowl. He came out there and had a real good trial.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to pick number 22 of the 2022 draft. And that will be Johnny Harris going to the Athletics.
Johnny Harris. I like this kid. I didn't think he was going to be available for me when it was time for me to pick. But he was on the board, and I hurried up and snatched him up because very disciplined kid. I love kids that listen and that's respectable and that you can tell them what to do and it ain't gonna be no. But I should coach. Just yes, sir. I'm gonna do it, coach. Whatever you ask me to do. I like kids like that. So he was a good pickup for me. I'm glad he was still there, and I look forward to seeing how he do in some live competition.
Most definitely, man. Can't wait to see that kid as well. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next pick. Pick number 21 is going to be going to the Marlins, and they're going to pick up Anthony Holcomb. How about that young athlete?
Anthony Holcomb. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Anthony, he's traveling out here from Louisiana, and he come from a pretty good, solid organization with I think the Grizzlies. So
okay. We got to see him out at D1 Nation.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting to work with him. He actually playing spring ball and fall ball with me, so that was a real good pickup for me in the Baby Bowl.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Well, without further ado,
Kids be rough, man. Them kids be rough. Man,
hey, there was some dogs out there.
He already brings some crawfish.
Hey. Remember how I interviewed your son at D1 Nation? Semi-Pro Live guy likes crawfish. Matter of fact, to all of Houston, when I come down there, I love Cajun food. You know, I never turn down free plates. We'll plug your restaurant, whatever you got going. I'm fat. I've been fat a long time. If you guys want to give me plates of food, I will accept.
Coach, man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to pick number 20. That's going to go to the Athletics. And with pick number 20, they're going to pick up Caleb Beverly Jr. Tell us about this young athlete.
Caleb Beverly Jr. He played up this year, I think.
Oh, you got Caleb.
Yeah. He played up this year. Got real fast kid.
Stole that one.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a back and forth about this one when we was drafting, and I'll let you know this. They try to trade for you, son, but I ain't giving you up. They can offer the farm. We riding with you, son. I'm finna let you loose. Toss right, toss left, whatever you want. We finna do it and get up out of there.
That kid is
Definitely good.
That kid is good. That's a real good
speed.
I think he's playing for the Hurricanes, Carolina Hurricanes this year. I heard, man. Real solid kid.
All right, I start to stutter right there. Without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to pick number 19. And this pick is going to be picked up by the Marlins. We're going to Carmucci being picked up by the Marlins. Tell us a little bit more about this young athlete.
Hey man, this man, I know y'all know his twin brothers. They come from Pop Gorilla Mob, so he come from good bloodline.
Yeah.
Cousin, the quarterback on 11U, that's real good. So y'all already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
They always say the young. Goddamn.
Hey, y'all gonna hear about it funny, man.
They always say the younger brothers always
been around football for forever.
Man, I stamp at Finey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a Finey gonna be.
And plus, he been getting joked by two twin brothers. So I'm pretty sure he with the smoke.
His brothers is real good on my team, so I stamp with Finey being better.
He got two brothers on your team?
Two twins.
Dang.
They angry too.
See, man, Pop don't be sharing, bro. Like, he got to say both the twins. He couldn't just, like, recruit one and let the rest of Houston have the other one.
He gonna be better than both of his brothers?
I stand on it. But I was
You from?
Yep.
So he gonna win the MVP?
I hope so.
Ooh, let's go, Ifani. I'll have to check him out.
You see, hey, Ifani, you know what they're doing? They picked you so low in the draft so they didn't have to pay you. You know, them top 10 picks, you know, they get that $1 million signing bonus. They trying to play you, man. Make them pay you what you worth. You want an extra pair of gloves. They talk about you got to be the MVP. They try to pick your linemen and stuff all after you. So nah, man, make sure you get some extra gloves. But anyway, moving on to our next pick, man. Number 18. This pick is going to be by the Athletics. Pick number 18. The Athletics will pick up Chauncey Phillips. Tell me more about this athlete.
Oh, Chauncey Phillips. Very good kid, man. Very good kid. I like him a lot. Like every kid I drafted, I literally, if I didn't remember everything they did, it was something that made me think about, okay, hey, like I want to get this kid. It's something that stood out about him. I don't have me on here trying to lie and say,
No. We got it. That one gotta be fixed.
okay,
That's an error. That's a 7.
that's a 7-year kid.
Yeah, he was supposed to be getting 6 now.
Well, that was an error. So without further ado, just forget about that pick. We're going to skip this one, and we'll have a hold on. Were you guys trying to say something? My bad. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next pick. So we're gonna disregard pick number 18. I think we had a little bit of an error on that one. So we're gonna move on to pick number 17. This pick is going to be going over to the Marlins, and we have Amari Craig, the 17th pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft. Tell us about this young athlete.
Hey man, I like Trey. Trey actually, he been playing football for a few years too. He actually played last year with the War Babies, and he did real good, real small but aggressive. Like he's gonna be a real big asset. He actually played with me in the fall and the spring too, so it's just gonna be his coming out party.
Most definitely.
Everything, just an athlete.
Yeah.
All right.
Real small, tackle, block, whatever.
Amari Craig.
All right, well, let's move on to our next pick, number 16. It's going over to the Athletics. And with pick number 16, the Athletics will pick up Brandon Jackson, number 16 pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft.
Brandon Jackson is a big. I think he played for the Pearland Hurricanes. I watched him, man. That dude is tough. Like his daddy hard nosed. He told his daddy he wanted to run the ball. His daddy said, "You gonna block and you gonna tackle." So I love a parent like that. Hey, you know,
I'm glad I'm not the only one who told their son that.
You got them kids where it's like, "Hey, coach, I want to run the ball." No, you gonna block and you gonna make a tackle. Hey, you gonna get paid one day doing that. You can do both of those things. You can play on anybody's team doing that. So I'm glad I got him, man. I'm gonna let them bulldog some of these kids. I hope your kid's tough over there, face, man. I'm telling you right now, because it's gonna be a lot of pancake with syrup going on over there.
Good kid,
Syrup? Oh man.
You got your real good kid right there, man.
Yeah.
We got something for him.
I hope so. It ain't just him though. Ain't just him.
Better not be.
Well, we got slugs being shot all over the place already. So we're up to the top 15 picks left in the draft. And just as we've cracked the top 15, man, we're going to move on to the Marlins pick. This one is going to be Cameron LeBom.
Get away from each other.
More about this young athlete.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yes.
he's a real good organization. He actually plays dual sports, plays soccer, so I know his feet work gonna be pretty good. I'm looking forward to really working with him.
Yeah, I like this kid.
Most
Yeah.
definitely, man.
Center.
It's a good kid.
One of those soccer athletes getting in on the football field. Well, without further ado, let's move on to pick number 14. We've got Jace Dillard. He's going to be picked up by the Athletics. Tell us a little bit more about that young athlete.
Yeah, Jace Dillard, he played for me this year on the flag 5U level. Man, this kid came. He was quiet when he first came, but he was one of the bigger kids on our team. And he at first it was like, hey, coach, do I need to push this kid over, or am I doing wrong if I'm pushing this kid down? I say, no, man, keep that aggressiveness. He's real tough. He's disciplined. He listens. Jace, do this. Yes, sir. Coach, what do I do right here? I love kids that ask questions. They don't just go out there and do what they want to do. He's very dependable. His mom gonna have him at every practice, every game. She gonna be yelling at him. Jace, what are you doing? Do this. And I love parents like that because that's how I am. So I'm glad to have him, man. And he's gonna be a huge asset for our team. He can play multiple positions as well too.
Gotta have parents dedicated.
Yeah, definitely.
Dedicated parents, man, make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely, because I'm that parent who be missing practice. I'll be having stuff I got to do. My bad.
What kind of parents?
But shout out to them down parents, man. They deserve more. Oh, and before we move forward, anyone who I've messed up their name, I want to give you my severe apology. We are going to make up for it. I think we're up to 4 mess ups so far. So my apologies to those 4 athletes. We're going to get you guys one-on-one interviews before or after the Baby Bowl. So just make sure you get in my inbox. I'll get you marked down. And just like last year, we'll get you guys an interview to correct the mistake and to give you kids some shine. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on to pick number 13. This kid's going over to the Marlins. Pick number 13, we're going to have Andre Ramirez. Tell us about Andre.
On 13.
Oh, yeah.
We're on pick number 13.
Yeah, we're on 13.
Pick number 13. Andre Ramirez.
No, that's 12. Oh, no, that's
Southside. He's from the Southside Ducks.
Andre, he real fast. I watched him at the Baby Bowl. He really surprised me. Soon I seen him, I went and asked his parents, like, hey, what's his name? Like, that kid's gonna be something special. Real fast. And quick.
And the speedster makes it in.
Quicker kids. Bigger kids.
I got plenty of them.
I hope you got more quicker kids than bigger kids.
I got plenty of them.
Hey, track meet Sunday. Track meet Sunday.
So we got a track meet on Sunday. Well, let's go ahead and move to pick number 12.
Any day.
Thanks.
I promise you.
Hey, I've seen some Power 6U kids beat a lot of speed.
I learned
kids.
that from Naive. Goddamn me. Speed over power on 6U.
All right, guys. Well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next pick. Pick number 12 is going to the Athletics. Now, I don't have a picture on my screen, but I'm pretty sure this kid is from South Texas. I think this is a member of the SMG Gorillas down in South Texas. And that pick is going to be Angel Benavidez going over to the Athletics. Tell us about this young man.
Angel Benavidez is that's a real reliable, tough kid. At the tryout, I think I remember him doing a tackling drill, he went like he missed like maybe the first or second tackle. He wanted to keep going until he got it right. I'm just like, hey, I understand we taking a little bit more time with you, but I'd rather you sit here and get it right than us moving on and you don't know exactly what you need to do or you don't feel comfortable with what you did. So I'm glad I got him, man, and I know he's gonna show a lot of these kids what football is like wherever he's from. I'm not sure where he's from. He said again,
South Texas.
South Texas. Man, South Texas got some ballers out there. I did a flag tournament.
Man.
And we played against the OTE, their flag team. They got some ballers, man, on their team, just out there in general. They don't get a lot
Shout
of
out to Bam Bam.
team or whatever, but they definitely got ballers out there. And I'm glad I got that one.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next pick. And shout out to all the South Texas kids, man. They make a lot of this possible, man, all that South Texas love. But let's go ahead and move on to our next pick of the draft. It's going to be number 11. Now, this is the last pick outside of the top 10. After this one, it's slow it down a little bit and give all these top 10 athletes a little bit more love. But with the number 11 pick of the 2022 draft, the Marlins select Solomon Herbert. Tell us a little bit more about that young man.
Hey, Solomon, though, especially he played flag last year, and so this is gonna be his first time really playing tackle. But he been out there with me in the springtime, and he working. So he actually come from a good bloodline. His brother's real good. I coached him in the showcase a couple years ago at Ruby. So Solomon gonna be real special. And he aggressive. Yeah, he aggressive too. So.
The little brothers is always aggressive.
I really hope you ready. Make sure you have a hard chin strap. Not the soft.
What's that hard chin strap?
Hey, parents. Hard chin strap, not the soft.
Hold on. Well, that depends. Does Impact Athletics provide hard chin straps? If they don't sell them, I don't know if they're necessary. I'm just saying.
Hey, that was my warning. I'm telling you, that was my warning.
That boy tripping.
He already ready wild for me right now.
All right, well, let's get on to these top 10 athletes. The top 10 athletes in the Houston Baby Bowl draft. These are the big names from all around the Houston area, some of the top athletes from all over the Houston, South Texas area. So let's get right into it. Without further ado, the Athletics will have the number 10 pick of the draft. And with that pick, they're going to pick up Adonis Washington.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit more.
He's probably the littlest kid on the field on both teams. I'll tell you what, it ain't no kid out there tougher than him. It ain't no kid faster. It ain't no kid more hyper. It don't matter if you make a mistake. He going to come back the next play and get it right. First of all, because his daddy tough, his mama tough, and I'm tough. I coached him on flag this past year. The kid pulled a million, ran a bunch of touchdowns, and talked a bunch of is too. So
I like this coach. Who is
that was the problem. That was the problem with flag. He didn't want to pull flags. He wanted to tackle, and he was so tough.
Yeah.
Dislocated his shoulder. Like I think he dislocated his shoulder week 2 of our season. He came back the 4th week, and he was out 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Kid came back and balled out. Right there, my little hit. I'm talking about he tough, super tough.
That's the only
He put it back in the socket himself. He hit that joint, trying to go back in.
Hard chin strap. Hard chin strap.
We got both, just in case one of them break.
Hard chin strap.
I'm just saying, who keeps suggesting these products that aren't provided by Impact Athletics? This is an Impact Athletics broadcast.
Hey, man. Hey, this next pick, you gonna see why.
Okay.
You gonna see why.
Well, hey, let's get right to the business, man. With the next pick in the draft, it's going to the Marlins. And the number 9 pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft is going to be Santana Thomas. Tell us a little bit more about this young man.
Nickname. Problem. Hey, I promise offense and defense.
We good at man.
Break. I promise you. Offense and defense. I'm telling you, make sure them babies have their mouthpieces in. Make sure y'all let the refs know that all babies need mouthpieces. Because he gonna knock something out.
We're gonna have some mouthpieces at the game.
Yeah.
Hey, I always tell him
Impact mouthpieces.
Hey, I always tell him, hey, because and he played for me in the spring and the fall. Right, yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
Hey, he knocking snot out of them baby noses. I'm telling you.
We don't got
Hey,
snot.
we been hitting drills. Kid
Nose
get
is
up,
dry as hell.
snot out both nostrils. Yeah, he get hard. Hey, he had to make my baby cry. I put my baby on punishment. I'm like, bro, you done got smacked. Like, yeah, hey, he's great. And my boy tough.
Let that kid keep his V-Bucks, man.
I sure hope you ready. We in a good pitch right now.
Yeah, we definitely getting to the sport.
Yeah.
Definitely getting there.
All right.
Who we got next, Shannon? Who we got next?
All right, guys, without further ado, the next pick is going to be number 8. We're going to have the Athletics up next. And for the number 8 pick in the 2022 Baby Bowl draft, Corey Ford Jr. Tell us about this young killer.
Corey Ford Jr. Very, very, very fast, disciplined kid. Speed. Look, he gonna be at the corner position, and if you run to his side, the play is done.
Right.
Immediately. It don't matter. Whatever side I put him on, don't run to that side because it's a wrap.
I'm
telling
definitely
you
gonna
now.
test that theory.
I'm telling you now.
I'm definitely
It's a
gonna
wrap.
test that theory.
Either side you run to, I got 2 shut down hard in the corner. So I hope you don't throw the ball. And they cover. They cover like blankets. So I'm telling you right now, you throw the ball, it's a pick. Or you getting their helmet knocked off. They better have on the 707 helmets under them doggone regular helmets. Because it's gonna
I promise you. I'm gonna try.
I promise you.
Chill out, bro. Head secure in that joint. Well, after that,
On my live comments,
Hey, don't
do
tell
all
me.
these kids play for the Hurricanes?
Most of them.
hey, look, man, ABC, always be recruiting. Always be closing, man. Let the people work their magic.
All right, Hurricanes. I see y'all. Y'all in here deep.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next pick. Number 7 pick in the draft is going to be by the Marlins. And with the number 7 pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl draft, Royal Charles is going to the Marlins. Tell us about this athlete.
Man, y'all already know what it is when it comes to Roy. He's real coachable. He actually is my son, and he's gonna be a real big problem on offense and defense. Mainly defense, but he gonna bring on offense too. So y'all already know what he do. He been playing football for 4 years, tackle. So
He only 6.
oh, he only 6.
Hey, yo, bet in the game.
Everybody know. 4 years experience, 4th year player.
It started in 2.
He gotta go play with the other kid.
He come from a football home. Our bunch of big brothers.
So he was crawling with the football.
Crawling with the football, man. Him.
Hey, for the folks at home, man, I ain't let them cook because I was like, I ain't doing no draft, and they eating and I'm not eating. And you know, he ain't want to send me a plate, so we had to do no food this year.
Cooking tomorrow, Shan.
You mellow my plate?
Hey, over here.
Oh, he over here.
Mo,
Jeff is over here.
He over here
there
messing up the sound on the media, man.
They gonna cook something up after the draft.
It's tomorrow,
Hating
Shannon.
this year.
Like,
Y'all cooking tomorrow? Or you cooking on Friday? I think y'all should cook on Friday.
Oh no.
Me,
We're not
in the
cooking it out.
DFW.
Dallas, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, let's go ahead and move on to the next pick in the draft, number 6. So this is the last pick outside the top 5 picks. So rounding up our top 5, or top 6, Leggins going to the Athletics. Tell us a little bit more about this young man.
Javen Liggins, that's my quarterback. QB1. Big kid, strong kid, can throw the ball, no cap. Can throw the ball about 40 yards down the field. And he just turned 6.
40?
About 40 yards. No, I'm telling you.
You got somebody that can catch you?
Just wait, the pick coming up. But no, man, real tough kid. Like,
One step at a time.
he quiet, he real quiet, but he will hit you. He will run you over, and he'll tell you, hey, no matter of fact, he will hit you and run you over, and then he'll hit the greeting on you afterwards. Real tough kid, man. I love this kid.
GBT?
I love this kid. Yeah, GBT, definitely. Yeah,
I hope you got some linemen to protect
man,
that.
I'm telling
I
you,
hope
okay.
you got some linemen
All right,
to
man.
protect that
All
building.
right.
That's Alexis' son?
Yes, Alexis' son, yeah.
I know because she just screamed it all on the live. She
Goddamn
was mad. Everybody know that's her baby. There
right.
she is. Alexis want everybody to know that's her baby.
Goddamn right. That's
She
QB1 right there.
QB1.
That's my boy. That's my
So,
boy.
man,
That boy is a dog. That boy is a dog.
I need to check him
Man,
out, man. All right, Jay, I'm
we-
gonna see you at practice next week. I gotta
Hey,
see
look,
that.
yeah,
I'm gonna go catch it.
Okay,
I'm
Q,
gonna
you think
catch
I'm lying, Q?
you got to stop telling these crew coaches which kids are a dog. You got to be like, he okay, he all right.
I'm not worried. Look,
He gets to play from
I ain't
time
worried
to
about
time.
I'm not, they got too many kids. They don't need no more.
You know, it started with one of these baby bowl drafts. Nah, that's how rumors get started. Don't take that one serious. But let's move on to the next step, man. We've got pick number 5 coming up. These are our top 5 Houston Baby Bowl players. This
Hey,
is the
all-
elite
all-
of the elite.
All over number 1 pick.
Basically, pretty much.
All
yeah.
of them was number 1
Pretty
pick.
much, yeah.
Hey, and very possible. I'm looking at some hitters on this list. But let's start with the number 5 pick of the 2022 Baby Bowl of the Marlins. Tell us a little bit more about King.
Man, when I say he's big, this kid is big and aggressive. I watched him at the Baby Bowl knock everybody in the trial down. Everybody. He ran through 1 through 20 kids. We put, man, yes, 120 pounds. Daddy got to carry his ID in his pocket. The kid is big and aggressive.
Oh, I love this kid, dog.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. Hey, and Baby Bowl is going to be his breakout year because he actually playing spring ball with me too.
Bro,
so
that
y'all
kid is so
know
tough,
that.
dog.
It's crazy. He can barely fit in the graphic.
I ain't with you,
I'm
dog.
telling you, and he can run the ball.
That kid dominates.
So I hope your kids can tackle because he can run the ball too.
You want to run the ball?
And I'm gonna let him run the ball. Yes, I'm gonna let him run the ball.
Childish stuff.
So I sure hope
It's okay. He said he's going to wear flags.
because he's gonna run the ball. And he's big. Tell you.
He's big.
I'm
No,
telling
he's
you,
definitely
120
big.
pounds. Ain't
No,
gonna
he is
move.
big.
No,
And
he's
he
big,
can move.
Big and he fast.
He can move.
Real for real big.
Great, nice, bro.
He can
No, he's
move.
a good kid, man. He's a great kid. All right.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next pick. And the number 4 pick of the 2022 Houston Baby Bowl draft will go to the Athletics. It's going to be Jace Thomas. Tell us
Hey.
more about this young athlete.
I can tell you a whole bunch about this one because I made him. And and it ain't got nothing to do with him being my son. Why he got picked so high? I wasn't gonna pick him high, but I didn't want. I'm telling you right now,
Hopkins going to start recruiting him if you didn't.
This
I was gonna pick him if he wasn't gonna pick him.
hey, look.
He's going to be in a whole crew uniform.
What the thing you ask him to do? He catch the ball, he run it, he block. He played this. He did flag. It was he one of them kids where it's like, okay, we got a kid breaking through the line. Jace, I need you to go block him.
Can he tackle?
Can he tackle? You want to see videos? He's smacking anything moving. I'm telling you now. He's smacking anything moving. He might not be the biggest kid, but he's tough. He's dependable. He's respectable. He's gonna shake your hand after he light up one of your kids. I'm telling you, Faith.
Oh yeah, I like that.
He's gonna shake your hand. He's gonna be like, Coach, don't run him this way.
This sportsmanship.
Don't run him this way, Coach. I'm gonna hit him. But no, man, no, real good kid, real respectable kid. I'm happy to be his father, his mother. He got good parents. He got a good upbringing, and all his brothers played football at high levels. His brother played on 13 GBT this year, won the national championship. His younger brother under him, JoJo, won the Super Bowl MVP for GBT, 10U. And this year I can say a whole bunch about this kid, but I'm glad to have that kid on my team.
Whole bloodline.
It is.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
without further ado, we're going to move into our top 3 picks. So, rounding up our top 3 for the Houston 2022 Baby Bowl, the Marlins will select Jason Richard. Tell us about this young athlete,
Man,
Jason Richard.
I'm sorry about that. That's another interview.
This right here, this strategy I went with, like I could have picked him one, but it didn't make no sense because like the strategy I went with. But he carried his 6U team to the Nationals and AYF. Even though they came up short, like he played big. Like he's real small and he probably played the biggest on the field. Definitely. Like he's gonna do some special things. Yeah, he definitely been playing, and he's been playing football for 3 years, so he got a lot of experience. I got a bunch of kids with a lot of experience, and he probably one of them ones with the most experience on my team.
Yeah, J5 is nice, man. He played against
real nice. I can't
team last year.
Hey,
he did a damn good job.
Hey,
Now J5 the truth, man.
Man,
that's a good pickup, bro. Real
man amongst boys. I'm telling you.
You snatched him before I could get him. I'm
telling you,
he was on the radar.
Man amongst boys. Plain and simple, offense and defense.
Well, if I had the license to some Nelly music, we'd be playing. What does it take to be number one? But we can't put that on there. They'll mute out my stuff. But we're on to the top 2, man. So if you have paid your money to Pop Green and Q, and you're like, why my kid ain't been picked? Well, you better hope he one of these 2 picks, so she might be in their inbox later on today. So with the because I don't have to deal with all. No, we got the last 2 kids in the draft, man, and these are some killers, regardless of whoever comes out 1 or who comes out number 2. So we're gonna have the number 2 pick. This pick is going to the Athletics. And the number 2 pick, number 2 overall player in the Houston Baby Bowl draft, Brett Neal, going to the Athletics. Let's hear about this young killer.
Brett Neal, big tank, man. That boy is a problem. His daddy huge. When I seen his daddy, I was just chopping up with him. I ain't seen his kid yet, and I'm like, "Yeah, you got a kid out here?" He was like, "Yeah, that's him right there." I say, "He's 6." He's like, "He about to be 6." I'm like, look, this kid is a monster, man. That I can't think of the kid you just picked up from Pearland. That big kid.
He from Pearland too?
No. He's from Wichita.
He from Kansas.
Yeah.
Big tank.
Big tank, man. He was one of the only kids out there.
Man, we go tap it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
He was one of the only.
I think his chain real too.
Boy, man, with Big Great, he was banging, man, and the kid can run the ball as well. He might be a
4
big
quarters.
kid.
He better be ready.
Oh, he definitely can run the ball. Oh, he's gonna be ready.
4 quarters.
He ain't got no choice. I'm real happy to have this kid, man. The kid can do anything, man. Anything you ask him to do. He can block, can run, can tackle, put his hand in the dirt, put it standing up.
I seen his highlights. I hadn't seen his highlights before the draft started, so he was on my watch list.
No, real.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know you was gonna pick him that high.
I couldn't let nobody. Couldn't let you grab him.
But I'm glad.
You know, one thing I will.
My second pick that I got.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that you grabbed him.
Yeah. But
I'm glad that you grabbed him.
But shout out to Kansas, man. We got kids from Kansas, Seattle, Arkansas, Louisiana, Maryland. So we got a lot of kids that's coming to the Houston Baby Bowl to come see what it's about.
Big. And shout out to his pop, man, man, just for this event. That's dope, man. That's real big. Giving these kids life experiences, man. He'll never forget this.
Pop not a bring him out.
No, definitely Pop. Awesome event, man.
One thing I do want to say about this event is you guys brought a lot of exposure to kids outside of Houston. I remember, I think, was it the number 1 or number 2 pick last year in the Baby Bowl was a kid from Fort Worth, or I think he was from Dallas. He came down with the Bullet Academy helmet. So, I mean, it just goes to show, regardless of which one of these bowls you enter in, if your kid's a baller, if they come out there with their head on straight to the evaluation period, they'll get picked up, and they'll get picked up high, regardless if they're somebody that these coaches are familiar with or somebody from a place they've never heard of. They're going to pick the best players that are going to rise out here. So without further ado, man, we got to get – oh, go ahead, Coach.
I said the cream always rise to the top, no matter where you at.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Well, without further ado, we've got to get –
too, man. Everybody be overlooking the big boys. Hey, that's how you win games in the trenches, man. Shout out to Lyman U. We got Coach Mo
Shout
here
out
on the couch.
Show.
Shout out to my boy Mo with Lyman U. We got the Lyman U camp coming up in June, man. I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. lineman going top 2 in the draft. That's dope.
No line, no shine.
Hey, that's the way to win the game, man. Y'all gonna learn one day.
Too many linemen though.
Y'all gonna learn one day.
Too many
Now,
linemen.
I want the Dallas coaches to remember that for the 7U draft. But let's go ahead and move on to the number 1 pick overall, the number 1 rated kid in the entire Houston Baby Bowl. There can only be one number 1, and that pick's going to the Marlins. And that player will be Dylan Carter, number 1 pick in the 2022 Houston Baby Bowl. Tell us about Dylan.
Baby chocolate.
Baby chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Baby chocolate, man. Hey, Dylan is something special. The strategy I used to get him, J5 and King, it worked. So with them 3 together, it's trouble.
Hey, Fred.
It's trouble.
No, it's gonna be a tough thing.
And he actually had the fastest time in the Baby Bowl.
He did. He had the fastest 40 time.
Talk about speed.
did.
I got it.
You got speed. You
I
definitely
got
got
it.
speed. I got some speed too.
And I'm coming outside. I'm letting you know I'm coming outside. So you better be ready. I'm coming outside.
Hey, Fred said he got 2 shutdown corners. I'm coming outside.
Yeah, I'm not. That's no cap.
Hey, look, everybody that's been watching my
You
draft.
got to cut it up.
Everybody been watching my draft. No, it's over with. Back to back. Mark it. Back to back.
Hold on.
Back to back.
In the Baby Bowl, the rules state you got to play offense.
It's cool. I know it.
First quarter.
Hey, back to back.
Defense for the
OG
second
Baby
quarter.
Bowl coach.
Offense for the third quarter.
OG Baby Bowl coach. I know all the rules. I know all the rules.
OG.
Matter of fact, look, I did it last year. Was down 2 touchdowns. Right? You remember this, Pop? I did it last year. Down 2 touchdowns. And guess who won the game?
Who won the game?
Hey, man.
Your kids won the game.
The Sonics. The Sonics won the game. The Sonics won the game.
Oh, you had BJ on your team, huh?
Nah, yeah.
It's youth football. We're all winners as long as everybody works together.
You know what I'm saying? We pulled through. And guess what? Hey, back to back. Back to back. Y'all remember them jerseys, man. Hey, back to back, man. Back to back. Back to back. We're going to get them baby rings, man.
It should be a good one now. I'm going to tell you it's going to be a good one.
Hey, my kids say, hey, Coach, I need some more rings. Coach, go get you some more rings, man.
I works with it, man. I like
with a baby head on it though.
This draft was live, man. This draft was live. It's 2 real
I
solid
sure
teams.
hope y'all ready. It's not going to be close.
Nope.
It's not going to be close.
At all?
Hey, Dallas, hey, y'all pull the slipper, man.
Oh, you're right. It's not going to be close.
We wanted to see that. I was looking forward to that matchup, man. I was looking forward to the matchup, but I'm gonna save it for the final. Save it for the final. Take care. I'm gonna take care of Fred over here first. Sunday.
Well, hold on. We have a very important question. Hold on, Dixon. We got a very, very important question. Will there be a matchup between the winners of the Houston Baby Bowl against the winners of the Dallas Baby Bowl?
Talk to him, Pop.
So not this year. We're gonna. We're gonna do that next year.
We don't want to wait. What if we're ready to send you more money to have another game?
On 6U, they coming from flag,
Us too.
and some Houston kids is already in pads already. So I don't think it'll be a fair matchup to set them kids up with the Houston kids that already been, in pads. That wouldn't be fair.
It just sound like an excuse to
I
me.
think Dallas can bank with Houston, bro.
It just sound like an excuse to me.
I think Dallas can bang, and then plus we could all get paid again if we go to Waco and have a matchup for the championship.
I went to the hold on. I went to the
You putting out the challenge now. Man, you put out the challenge now.
Vote in the comments. Do we want to see Dallas versus Houston?
Whoever wins this Dallas Bowl, hey,
The winners.
former invite to come play back-to-back Marlins, man. I'm telling you. This is like former invite. The former invite. You can take or leave it. Play some football, man. Let's go. Y'all
I don't know, Pop. I think
I went to
come on, man.
the
Y'all
trial.
play football in
I
Dallas.
went to the trial in Dallas, man. They got some good kids on that
They
side.
got some
Hey,
good
hey,
kids.
They got some kids
Hey,
named Vera,
Hey,
Vara.
we can talk all day, but until the matchup is set,
They got some good kids. I went to the trial. They got some good kids. What's that kid name?
you also came to the Houston trial.
no, man. I don't know, guys. You gotta look at these comments, man. I think the people you gotta give the people what they want, Pop.
Houston's definitely
Hey,
crazy.
hey man, it's up to Dallas. A plus grade with the Marlin draft. A++.
We got
Y'all
more
watch this.
comments up here.
We got Dallas Baby Bowl this
And then also,
Sunday.
hey, what?
We got the Baby Bowl March 6th, man. If Dallas want to play Houston, they can come out here March 6th. We can add it to the docket. We got enough time. Huh?
I'll play 2
We got enough time. Huh? We'll play 2
Okay,
games. We got enough time.
that's a great idea.
We got enough time. Let's go ahead and set it up, man. I'm gonna talk to my Dallas coaches. We're gonna see if we can make it happen, man.
Make it happen. Come on, Dallas.
Yes, that's why I did. That's why I said this on live. I knew these crew coaches couldn't turn down a challenge. I mean, my bad. ABN coaches. I knew the ABN coaches couldn't turn down a challenge.
That's a hard
Houston wants the smoke, man. Houston wants the smoke, man. Come on, let's make it happen, man.
All right, so now that we got that out the way,
for the preview of what's coming in the fall, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
You wiping
Now-
your nose?
Man, come on now.
Wipe it.
Pull up, man. Pull up. We want the smoke, man. We want the smoke.
hey, I like to stir up hornets' nest, man. Now, before we go ahead and move on and close out the show, man, tell us about where these games are going to be hosted at. So your Dallas location, you're going to be over at A1D1, correct?
Dallas is A1D1, and Houston will be finalized tomorrow. So we'll have it on tomorrow's show.
Okay. All right, so tune in. Tomorrow we will announce the location for the Houston Baby Bowl. I want to thank all the coaches that were a part. Coach,
Pull up.
y'all tongue-tied. We've been on here a long time. I want to thank all my Dallas coaches.
Look, man, the parents want it. Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen, man.
Hey, remember,
Marlon,
Semi-Pro
man.
Live stirred up the Hornets' nest to get you
I
guys
did,
this.
Back to back, man. I wish I should have bought my trophy from last year to put it on the table.
Last year don't matter. This
But
year, fam.
I didn't want to motivate. I didn't want to motivate.
You already motivated me.
I didn't want to
Saying
motivate.
you going back to back. That's all the motivation I need.
Hey, back to back, man. Back to back, man. We going to get some rings, man. Back to back.
Oh,
Back to back.
all right,
Oh,
coaches.
man.
It's been a late night. We gotta let these kids get to
All
bed,
right,
man. I want to thank everybody.
Last thing, Sean. Last thing. So if y'all win, you win the ring with the baby. If y'all win, you win the ring with the baby. If Dallas beats y'all,
We put the
y'all
ring
gonna-
on the line.
you gonna put your ring on the line?
Yeah.
You gonna put your ring on the line?
Oh, we putting the rings on the line. Okay.
You gonna put your ring on the line to give it to that coach if they win.
Yes.
No, we trying to get twins. We
All
trying to
right,
get
y'all
twins. We gotta-
take, man.
Houston wants to smoke,
All right,
man.
so there's gonna be twins on the line. So that means parents, after your kids win these rings, don't let your kids keep the rings because we know they're gonna lose
No,
them
not the kids.
because they're gonna be on the line versus you.
Kids
Oh, just the coaches. All right, the kids get to keep their rings.
So my diamond ring if I lose.
Well,
Okay.
I appreciate you coming up, man. Talking about these draft picks and why y'all got these boys. It's a real big thing that y'all doing for these kids, man. We really appreciate y'all stepping up and doing what a lot of people won't do. And that's being away from their families and volunteer their times for these boys.
Definitely.
Y'all definitely gonna make a change in these boys' life
That's
and
the
make
goal.
a big impact.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Ain't about winning games for me. I want to save lives, man.
That's your key.
Hey,
Impact.
hey, at the end of the day, man, this is gonna be a great event. Man, everybody come out and support grandma, granddaddy, sister, aunt,
It's definitely gonna be a
God
show.
mom,
It's gonna be a
God
show.
dad.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun for these kids, man, and that's what it's about. It's about putting the kids on a great platform. It's gonna be some great trophies, MVP trophies. Coaches get. I'm getting the coaches a bigger trophy this year.
Thank you, man. I put that boy in my pocket last time.
The kids.
Boy, that's even if you win, give me the trophy. I appreciate it.
Hey, over here we get the kids bigger trophies than the coaches.
Yeah, I respect it. I like that, man.
Because the kids
Some
out here
kids
playing.
did the work.
I really remember that last year.
Yeah.
So that boy was.
No, the kids got the good stuff. The coaches, we appreciate y'all coming out. I'm gonna buy you a boot in, and we're gonna
I
keep
need
it
a
right.
steak, homeboy. Steak.
Hey, that boudin was hitting, man. Somebody had some shrimp out there. Hey, shout out to the vendors last year because they gave me some free plates. And I always give shout outs to people to give me free food. Shout out to the Baby Bowl vendors. Matter of fact, if you're a vendor at the Baby Bowl and you're going to be out there cooking, inbox me before the actual Baby Bowl. I will give you a commercial during the actual broadcast. For a plate, though. I need that plate.
I got pasta out there this year, though. So
But all right.
What's happening?
Hey, I hit that inbox. So, Pop, you guys got anything to cover? Somebody likes those jerseys behind you, man. How do they get in contact with you about Impact Sports?
Hey, man, just go get in contact with me. Email info@impactsportsdrip.com. That's info@impact, drip, impactsportsdrip.com.
Or on Facebook.
And, half of these. Now, there are some parents that only entered this draft so they can get some of them iced out mouthpieces. So if they're looking for the iciest mouthpiece in the game, how do they get a hold of those?
Same thing. You go to www.com, impactsportsdrip.com.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys having us on, man. I'm going to give a big thank you to the Houston coaching staff. Big thank you to TNS, SED for lending their coaches. Big thank you to the Golden Blooded Titans and ABN for loaning their coaches as well.
Practice will be at Friday, Saturday, game on Sunday. Look for an email that's going to come out through the Baby Bowl email information, and it'll be in there. So we'll probably send that out starting next week for Houston.
Yeah, Dallas has practice this Friday and this Saturday. Houston will have practice next Friday, next Saturday.
Y'all gonna give out the location.
Friday,
We'll
Saturday practices for Dallas. Make sure you're out there. But until next time, we'll see you guys again on Semi Pro Live, the 2022 Baby Bowl Draft. Tune in tomorrow for part 2.